Hip Hop and R&B. My friend Kareem Biggs Burke, my brother, is in the building today.
What's up?
Saint Jhn is joining him today, not just by chance, but because.
Put on my orange hat.
All right, put the orange hat on.
Hold on. Hold on.
Does this symbolize something? Is there some type of symbolic thing?
Yeah, this is my new deal hat. When I
wear
this hat.
Okay. I like the fact that he walked.
Oh, you got some of your hat, man. Can't have you out here
look
with
at that slug. As
lit.
Biggs walked in, there was a release came out just now. So you're feeling extra good. Was it Deadline?
Yeah.
Deadline posted that you just launched some new deal, right?
Yeah, BOLO Media. So
did you plan that to drop upon your entrance of this interview?
No, couldn't have been better timing.
So what's happening? What is this deal?
A BOLO Media, which important is, you know, a lot of people hear me talk about my brother Bob, and I lost my mother. Her name was Lorraine, so I took the BO and the LO from the name for the names to pay homage to them. So BOLO Media is my intro back into TV and film. So now I have a partnership with Valiant Media. And I'll be launching films, TVs, documentaries, films, docs, scripted, non-scripted, everything.
Content.
So basically, I'm a studio.
Wow. I have many ideas for you.
Done.
We're
greenlit.
All right, deal.
Greenlit.
Everything is greenlit. It's that easy now.
Greenlit.
I would like to also announce today that I have 3 projects on the way in collaboration with
We got somebody on the inside now.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Good.
this congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
This means no sleep, yes?
Yes.
And you also have a deal here, no?
Yes.
All right,
and
tell
I'm back in the music business, Circle of Success Management with Saint Jhn, the new greatest artist of our time.
I like that.
And he's not just saying that here for the interview. Honestly, when we saw you in LA, we met in LA. It was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it was great to
at
meet you
Katana with a nice sushi,
right?
and an enjoyable lychee martini.
Yeah.
And then I saw you at the Rock Nation brunch. And then I saw him after, and he sings your praise even more when you're not around, and you should know that. And so I got excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I'm truly passionate about. To be 15 years removed from music, and the last albums I did was College Dropout and Late Registration.
Okay.
Legacy's on the line
you
right
should
now.
you should chill. You should.
Yeah, hold on.
To the
little
side.
Harlem on them. Legacy's on the line right now. So this is something that's very important to me. You know?
So those are the last 2 projects.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2005 was Late Registration. 2002, 3 was College Dropout.
So just for people who don't understand the nuances of that type of involvement, what is the exact involvement in those projects? Like,
well, it's Kanye was signed to Rockefeller,
yes,
which I was a part of, right? So Jay-Z, Damon, and myself started and launched Rockefeller and the whole rock empire. And College Dropout was something that I was passionate about at that time because at that time, Dame and Jay didn't particularly believe in him, that he can have a solo project the way he did.
Because Dame always screams that he believed in Kanye from the beginning.
Yeah, after I got it jumping. No, he talks about it. It's on Complex and dozens of interviews. He says, look, Kanye wouldn't have been Kanye without Biggs, you know. So it was a proud moment for me. Not to say that I'm taking all the credit. We all did what we had to do. And once we had that spark, Jay, Dame did, you know, exactly what they do. Yeah,
right.
And you know,
but what does that mean? So you're in the studio with Kanye creating that album, and
he had
those
College
albums?
Dropout. He had that project done, but I went at it for radio. Leor didn't believe in it. Leor actually said, "You can take him someplace else. He's cold. He's whack." You know what I'm saying? So Def Jam didn't believe in him, and I was the only one saying it should be a solo album. That is incredible, and I helped pick the singles.
Was it the College Dropout that we know, or a different version?
No, it was a College Dropout. You know,
like done as is.
Yes. So I picked All Falls Down as the single. Had to tell him Jesus Walk should be after that. That it shouldn't be before that because we needed to build up to that. And I helped with the whole radio team. Shout out to Benny Pugh.
Wow. I just saw Benny.
Yeah.
Benny's back at the
we
Rock.
Worked on that. Yep.
He's at Rock Nation now.
Yeah, full circle.
So full circle. All right, so that's the last thing you did, and now you come back now.
Yes.
Why now?
Because I was passionate. I heard Tata introduced me to Saint Jhn's music, and for 2 weeks, Simone and I could not stop listening to the album. I don't listen to music in the house. I listen to it in the house, in the car, in the gym. And I met him at the Pierre Moore show when he introduced himself to me, and I got so excited. And I was like, cameras, this is Saint Jhn, which I never do.
Right.
We built a relationship. He took me to lunch, let me listen to his new project. And
You enjoy a lunch, huh?
Look, I like good food.
Every time I see you, it's at a restaurant.
If the food is sexy, I'm there.
And it's always like, it's sexy food, too.
Absolutely.
You're not
we just
eating hot dogs.
We eat fantastically all the time. For all the days I didn't eat well, I eat fantastic now.
Good for you.
But when I went to the studio, he let me hear his new project, and I was like, wow, he did it twice. You know, so building a genuine relationship, hanging out with him for a few months, he kept asking me, like, come on, Big, sound like you want to do it. And I was passionate about it. So
now we're
I said,
here.
let's
So
go.
what's the plan?
More.
Yeah.
More.
Well, the plan is today, right? We got the song with his new single, Trap, with Lil Baby.
Okay.
Featuring Lil Baby.
Ah.
It's fire, you
Okay.
know. Album coming out soon, about to shoot 7 videos. And, yeah. And
How are you
this dude is
feeling,
just
sir?
making a classic
I feel good.
over classic.
You
I
feel
feel
good?
like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
How long is it? So I know you were writing songs for like Usher and
Yeah, for Usher, Nico,
Jadena.
Vince, Jadena,
Yeah.
a bunch of other people. Because I started writing songs for
Right.
people.
Yeah.
I was an artist, and I fell into writing songs for people, and I took the opportunity and I ran with it. That became my trap. I was hustling.
Yeah.
Right, and then sitting in the back just didn't feel as comfortable for me. My white don't look as good in the back, you know.
You're right. I
So
get
I
it.
can move it a little closer to the camera.
I get it. I understand that. That must be frustrating
Yeah,
for you,
it was
right?
hard.
When you're like, here's the song, but I would kill that song
Right,
more.
a little bit. Like, you know, hey, you do it. I did it better. But
Are you involved with that? Like when you write a song for somebody, then do you just give them the song and then, or are you in the studio and
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the person.
like were you with Usher what
well,
song did you do for
I
Usher?
did Crash. I wrote a song called Crash.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote that, and then he invited me to the studio to come work on other records. And then he was like, "What do you think of this?" But I don't know if he cared what I thought at the time. He might care now. Who knows?
Right.
But in other instances, yeah. So Nico and Vince, they called me. We were in the studio working for 4 days. I wrote the record, and then I went in the studio with them to sort of produce it, the vocals.
Right.
I'm like a vocal producer now too. Look at that.
Oh
Add a
man.
slash to me. I like it.
Yeah.
And working with other people still though, right?
Yeah.
What can you share? Can you share
I can't
anything? Because
share
I know
anything.
some behind the scenes stuff
Biggs
that
can
you've
say
been
lots of
doing.
things. I won't say
Biggs, what can you share? Tell the people.
Mean, we could talk about what's public. The song he did with Meek. Meek has posted it.
Okay.
And I think that's all we can talk about.
Come on.
And we got Lil Baby.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
lots of new friends.
lots of new friends.
Lots.
I saw
Good.
you at the Rock Nation brunch.
Yeah, that's a nice brunch.
So you managed to get in the photo. You know, there's like this moment where everybody crowds around Jay because you want to be in that. And I saw the photo happening. First of all, there's never any girls in the photo. So whenever I see it, I think I should go run over there. And this year, I should probably go be in the photo.
1,000%.
But I could never bring myself to like. It just feels like too much. So you have to kind of properly be placed in the moment.
You know what's dope about? There should be a woman's photo like that. Right,
And there's great women in the
tons
rom.
of women execs in that room.
By
Right?
the way,
Including
Beyonce's
yourself.
in the room and she's never in the
Yes.
photo. Is a travesty. It's not just men in the
Yeah,
room.
we need to fix that next year.
Next year we should
Somebody
take
get Jay-Z on the line.
the woman toast. I think Beyonce should lead the toast. I would like to be in the photo.
Yeah.
I would like to have maybe Shaka Pilgrim,
Yeah.
maybe, Jana, the people who work, you know
exactly.
what I mean?
I'm totally for that.
She's curating the photo already.
I'm
She knows.
curating
No, I love
and I'm
that.
going to be in it.
Yes.
Because
I
for
like
many years I go to this brunch. And I don't care in the moment to be in the photo
Then after
because there's
you're
such
like-
a swarm that I'm like, oh, there's the photo, there it is, and then I don't care until like the couple of days later when it's everywhere, and I'm like, damn, I should have jumped in that photo, and I never do it, Biggs.
Yeah.
You were in all the photos.
I wasn't all the photos. I was positioned in the.
You're at the
You
right
are
place, the right
properly
time, all the
positioned.
time.
It was on accident on purpose.
Yeah, it's part of the game, though. It really is. Were you there for the toast? Who gave the best toast?
Meek gave it's so funny because he was like, "Does anybody have something to say?" And Kev Hart was like, "God damn it, yes, I have something to say." And he really didn't say anything.
And he popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He was right there. No, he's right. He was right
And
here.
then everyone gave a toast, and all the champagne spilled on his head.
Because you're all up here and Kevin's down here.
It's messed up.
Was that your first brunch?
No, it's my second one.
Oh, it's your second
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So I
First
didn't-
time you're in the photo, though.
Yeah, I wasn't in the photo the last time.
Congratulations on the photo.
Thank you. It's a good photo. Did you see that red? Is no one gonna talk about my beautiful red suit? I gotta
Red
be.
suit was lovely.
Look at my
and you,
suit.
And you stood out. You stood out in the photo, and then
right.
In
you know,
every photo,
In
any
every-
picture, you just see this red suit. You're like, "Who's this guy?"
It was double breasted
Oh, that's
too.
the next best artist in the world.
Oh,
is
Saint
that your
Jhn.
is that
that's
That's
it.
right.
That's how we show the photo. by the way.
24 months.
24 months? Paint me the picture. He did.
Stadium.
Stadium?
Yeah, he'll be in stadiums, and I believe he'll be the next biggest brand as a male in music.
Wow.
Period. Yeah.
No pressure.
I've been poor before. What's the pressure?
What is your story? Give me a quick rundown of your
So
story.
the quick story. So of course my brother was he's a rapper, and if he was a fisherman or he was a doctor or an electrician, I'd have been one of those, right? So I followed him down the rabbit hole. He soon fell off, and I just kept working through music. Other things sort of fell in my lap as I was working.
Why
through
did he
my
fall
journey.
off?
He just stopped. I mean, he was doing hood things, right?
Yeah,
He was doing all the ignorant things,
I got it.
older brother would be doing.
Right.
And I kept down the musical path. I was like, all right, we can't all hustle in that way. Somebody got to sell something.
Yeah.
Right. I figured I was better at selling myself than selling whatever other product. So I did that. I fell into modeling. I happened to fall into modeling. I got lucky, but I didn't think it was anything.
Yeah.
Right. So
how do you fall into that?
I was in a group home. It's a long story, right? So I was in a group home, and they thought I should have been a model. Why? I have no clue. Why my behavior has anything to do with what I look like?
6'3" with abs. That has nothing to do with it.
And a good smile.
Right.
Yeah.
So they thought that, and I was a manly kid, right?
So what? You're in a group home at what age?
I was in a group home. I was like 15.
Why were you there?
I was just having problems in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom's. Guyanese, you go through whatever with your parents. And so I ended up in a group home. They told me I should model, and then they put me in an opportunity to model. And I did. And I did a couple really cool things.
Like what?
I did Nike, Apple, Virgin. I did 3 commercials on a really major level in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Right? But I was still in the hood. I was just in the hood trying to make a situation for myself better.
Where, in Brooklyn?
East New York, yeah.
Okay.
And then I kept pursuing music, but it wasn't happening. It wasn't clicking. So the first thing that jumped off of me is something that had nothing to do with music. And I still abandoned it because it wasn't just about making it out. It was about carving something specific for myself that, rewarded me, and my identity would have been at the core of it. I could have been who I am.
Right.
If you find yourself in a successful place and you're not who you are, then what's it all for?
Yeah.
Right? But I'm here now, and I'm who I am.
Yeah.
So I went from that into putting out records myself, and that failed. And failure was really good for me. I think failure is good for anybody around me.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote
I always
a song.
think you got to be whack first.
You have to.
Not that you were necessarily
No,
whack.
I'm sure it was trash.
Were
at
you
some
trash?
point. At some point.
Because you have to be. I saw Alicia
some
Keys
point.
post that yesterday. You have to be like whack. It's true. You got to be whack before you can be great. Because otherwise, you're not going through the process.
Yes.
You can't jump to greatness out
Absolutely.
of nowhere. Yeah, I agree. I
So
agree.
it took a second. Then I wrote a song for a friend of mine. The chorus found its way into an executive's hands. It was the first time I'd met a real music executive.
What is the chorus?
I don't know. It might
Come
have been half-
on, this is part of the story.
It was got hurricanes and tornadoes. That was the name of the record. And an executive found it. Like 7 hours after we put it out, it was Zach Katz. He runs BMG now. I think he just left BMG worldwide.
Wow.
He was doing something else on a really high level. He said,
Okay.
come to LA. I went to LA. I was like, I'd never been to LA. My first time. An executive's like, come to LA. I went. He said, yo, write these songs for Rihanna. I don't know what that meant. All I heard was Rihanna, fam. I was like, I'm in.
Whatever Rihanna
I was
wants.
like, whatever she want to do, I'm doing. But I didn't know at the time that meant write these songs and we will pitch them to her. Don't mean you hear the name and you just jump. So it didn't work. And I was fine because the failure was good for me. I came back to New York. I was only there for a couple months. I came back to New York and I happened to write another song for a guy who was bubbling here. It was a successful record for him. It's a song called No Interruption. So it was really good for him. And it was my first entry point into publishing and writing. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it could be. I could write a song and then 20 million people could hear it and they didn't even have my voice. And I did it in 30, 45 minutes. Not to say that all great songs come about like that, but when the opportunity comes like that, it sparks something in you. It gives you restorative hope. I was like, I could dream again. I could dream bigger. So I kept barreling down a songwriting path because it was a door open and no one was giving me any resistance. It was the first time in my life I didn't see resistance. You come up fighting, you struggling the whole time. You get so accustomed, you get acclimated to struggling. I was so used to it, to the burden on my back. And it was the first time the door opened. I was like, I like the door. I'm gonna walk through the door.
Yeah.
So I walked through the door. And I spent about 4 or 5 years songwriting, something like that. In that time, I wrote a bunch of records for people who were notable. And I walked through another door again. It was right there.
This one?
This door.
And now you're here. And now
we're-
you're here.
Yeah, we're in a new room, in a new space.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear this whole project.
Yes, I can't wait for you to hear it. Old school, you know how it is. We got to get Angie and ride around.
Let's do it.
Ride around in the truck.
Did you ever do those with us?
I didn't do it with you, but I know you used to do it. I used to do
Yeah.
it with everybody else too. But I know.
So when Jay used to put albums out, he would I don't think Reasonable Doubt I was part of, because
Yeah.
that was before I got to know you guys.
Yeah.
And then after Reasonable Doubt, every time his album was done, he'd come pick me up at the station and drive me around to let me hear the. And we were so young that I would be so like brutally honest.
Yeah.
With whatever, and he always appreciated that, and I think you probably guys all did the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Jay was always
we got
very.
your feedback.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, we all talk about it. That's how I know that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. So now, even now, I'd be like, damn, I wish I could have heard 444 in the car.
Exactly.
But I didn't get to hear 444. Actually, they did play 444. We did studio sessions, and Jay still does that process, right?
Yeah.
There's like different people in the room, and then you go in and you gather people that you know are trustworthy, and you play your music for them. So
we got to do that.
Yeah.
Ghetto Lenny's Love Songs for Christians. That's what we got to do. That's the name of the collection.
What's it called?
Ghetto Lenny's Love Songs for Christians.
Ghetto what?
Ghetto Lenny's Love Songs for Christians.
Ghetto Lenny's?
Yeah.
What does that
like Ghetto
mean?
Lenny. People call me Ghetto Lenny.
Ghetto Lenny's.
Yeah.
Love songs for Christians.
Yeah. But it's non-religious. It's just, you understand.
Okay, yeah, kind of. I will understand after I hear
When
the
you
music.
hear it.
After
When
I
you
the
hear it,
music.
you will.
Yo, what's your involvement with this OG movie?
I'm an executive producer on OG, which
Love
comes
that.
out Saturday.
Yeah, on HBO.
HBO, February 23rd.
OG is a movie that HBO did. Jeffrey Wright stars in it.
Jeffrey Wright.
And
yeah.
he is incarcerated for like decades.
Yeah.
And then they show him 24 days before he's about to go out into the real world, and what that whole thing is like.
Yeah.
Is that what? So why did you even get involved? Did they think you could?
To amplify the message, and plus it spoke to me because of my past and because I'm speaking on reform and social justice and the things that's happening in the communities. So it was like a perfect fit. So it's actually two movies. So it's that, and the second one is A Hard Truth, Ain't It?
Yes.
Which drops the same day, I believe. As
Same
well.
director too, right?
Same director,
Yeah.
Madeline. Yeah.
I went yesterday to an event. They had the OG experience, and so they had they showed the movie, and they had formerly incarcerated artists, painters,
Yeah.
and they had artwork all over the exhibit, and a lot of activists in the room. It just was like a powerful. Made me feel like HBO really cares about the project.
Yeah,
like it wasn't just like let's spend money on a dinner and whatever. It was like it was done with care. It was
and Jeffrey Wright, I believe, is like one of the greatest actors of our time.
Yeah,
and what he
was-
brought to the film, it was amazing. And
when I watched that, I got a different sense of what, because we watch prison stuff all the time, movies, films, but I feel like they got it right.
did you know that the co-star was in prison?
He was
The inmate.
It was an inmate, right?
Yeah,
So
which was
they
amazing.
shot at a prison, and they actually used
150
inmates.
castmates. Yeah, cast members were all inmates, which never been done before.
Wow, you felt the difference though.
Yeah.
And then Jeffrey's so dope.
Yeah,
It's
that had to
really
be a lot of
good.
pressure
Yeah, it was really good
for him.
What is
to
that like?
play
That
an inmate.
yeah,
Real inmates.
Yeah, with people that's
we're real
incarcerated.
inmates.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, but he's dope. He killed it.
Killed it.
And then I was in a room with people who had been incarcerated, and I was hearing some of their reactions to it. So
You
for
still are.
I still are. But you watching that, did you feel? I mean, did you? I don't know.
No, when I first seen it, I called. I said, "What jail was that?" I knew everything was real because it felt so. Like all the nuances, the way that the beds were, the things that was set up in a room. Like I knew it was a real place. Like it wasn't Hollywood. It wasn't in a studio. It felt. Yeah, it felt really good.
I know you've been very open to it, and you've talked publicly about your time inside and all of that, but like. It's so crazy to me that you did all those years for something that we're like watching people do.
I went undercover. I wanted to know what was going on in the prison
Is
system.
that what happened? You took it for the team?
Took it for the team.
You took it for the team?
Yes, I was a soldier at war in the POWs.
That's crazy. So that doesn't frustrate you though? You don't feel
No,
like you
not at all.
lost that time of your
No,
life?
I gained a lot. It took me to go to jail to be free. So I was able to reflect, see a different part of my life, see the things I did wrong, come out and just have a different perspective on everything, and then really care about relationships as well. So I came out energized. I needed a vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It was the
not,
best thing that ever happened for me. I wouldn't say that's for everybody.
That's not the normal. That's
No.
not the norm.
Yeah.
That's not the experience that normally happens for people, but I guess everybody is different.
Mhm.
So you don't have any kind of like,
Nothing.
really?
Yeah.
That's
Everything,
pretty-
God's aligned everything the way He wanted it to be. I mean, this may not have happened, right? All the things that I've able to create on my own since I've come home probably wouldn't have happened. I would have been in a different space.
But you don't make that as like, because that could be interpreted as like the system is good for people to.
No, I'm not saying it's good for people.
No,
I'm
I
just
know
saying
that.
what it did.
What it did
just
for you.
For me.
Yeah. But you could see how not good for most
Definitely,
people.
I can see. Yeah. Well, I mean, the system is, you know, some people say it's broken. I don't think so, because I think they did exactly what they needed to do, because it feeds itself, right? Doesn't matter who's in government, who's the president, whatever. That system feeds itself. So they built something that's perfect, you know. So we think it's broken. They did something that
they did it on purpose.
Yeah, that works for them. So, you know, I always say the analogy I use is it's like making a U-turn with the Titanic and the Hudson. That's what we got to do. It's something that has to be, you know, like moved really slow to create some sort of change. So it's going to be on a lot of fronts.
Are you hopeful about the change that's happening?
I am hopeful, you know. Somebody just talked about it the other day, right? Activism is in style.
I know.
Yeah, so, you know, to see all the youth, to see the kids, you know, Meek with the reform, you know, I'm really, really proud of him stepping up and being the forefront of that too.
Yeah.
You know, so with guys, younger guys and people of color, you know, talking to kids and being in the same circumstances that they've been in, the same neighborhoods that they grew up in, speaking about it, you know, it's more relatable.
They were saying yesterday at the premiere, they were like, people were fascinated. There's a lot of people who've done this work for many, many years, were fascinated that they allowed them to shoot the movie inside the prison. And the thought was that, well, because it's in style now, like criminal justice reform is like sexy, so it's okay to like show some of it, whereas years ago they probably wouldn't have even gotten the approval to even shoot that inside, which is crazy. Anyway, so so congrats on that. I think that movie's really important.
Yeah, shout out to the warden who gave the permission to shoot in there.
HBO, when does that come out?
February 23rd.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Can we talk about your friend Dame Dash's apology the other day?
Definitely.
What are your thoughts?
I guess it was good for him.
For those of you who don't know, Damon posted an apology to you as well. You, Jay,
I was in that.
People of his past for some of his, you know, the way he handled situations. And
well, he didn't really say why. I don't think so. But whatever the reason is, I think apology sometimes is not about the person that you're apologizing to all the time, but about him. So I'm sure he lifted a huge burden, you know, that he may have been feeling to come to that point to do it socially, because he didn't call me, you know what I mean?
He didn't, right. Yeah. He just put it out there.
Yeah.
He probably wanted to shift the energy.
Probably. You know what I mean? That's good for him, man. That's great.
And
my brother. I love him.
Yeah. But you haven't talked to him about it or anything?
No. I haven't spoken to him about the apology. No, I seen him about a month and a half prior to that, though.
Yeah. Everybody always is very fascinated about the relationship of you three.
Yeah.
And where it is. Like I think
triangle.
It's an interesting triangle, because at one point it seemed like they were at odds, but then you and Dame were cool. Now it seems like you and Jay are hanging out more, and we see you guys more. Yeah,
you know how it is. You know, when you got a clique of a lot of people, different people hook up at different times. So, you know, that's all it is. I actually hang out with Tata and Emery more than anybody, but we just don't we don't take photos all the time. So the one picture I take with Jay seems like I'm with him every day.
Every day, yeah. The idea is that one day the three of you will appear somewhere with a bottle of champagne or something somewhere. That's the photo.
Okay.
Listen, if you're ever at a brunch and you see Dame, Jay, and Big somewhere, jump in that photo.
That's the photo?
That's the
one?
photo.
Okay.
It's going to be everywhere.
Okay.
That's the photo. Will we see that photo one day, you think?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Think so?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Yeah, we just got to meet at the brunch. No, I don't know.
Is Dame getting invited to the brunch,
No,
Biggs?
I mean, it's I don't get invited to the brunch, so it's not like an invitation thing. You know that who goes,
you just show up.
What. I mean, I know people want to see it, but it's not like we're going to coordinate schedules and say, okay, guys, let's meet up because we need this photo for everybody that's looking. It just happened. It just has to happen. The same way me and Jay take photos. You know,
just has to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd like to see it happen one day. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't that be
I think it'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I grew up watching it. I think it'd be cool.
Well, I can't wait to hear this music and this project that your friend here has been raving about in these
good.
streets.
I think it's allowed. You're allowed to say it's good when it's good.
Okay.
So it's good.
You're confident.
Yeah, I'm confident.
And I can't wait till you can announce some of the partnerships and other projects and other things that you.
that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
What's even more exciting is you'll say before I do. I don't even got to do nothing. You'll be like, Saint, you
Yeah,
did.
you could just give me the
Right.
Mhm.
You'll be
Just
like,
hit me
no,
with the
you'll know.
button.
You'll probably know before same time.
Okay,
It'll
good.
be happening in real time for all of us.
Yeah.
All right, so give the people before we wrap what to look for and what's coming. from
It's
Saint
going to be a
Jhn.
really aggressive 2019
Okay.
with some incredible music,
Mm-hmm.
with some friends that you know and some friends that you're less than familiar with. And my next collection comes out, I don't want to be a liar, but sometimes lies are good. What to April?
Yeah. we
Yeah.
Say April.
Yeah.
April. And collection 1, which is my first collection, came out already. So if you haven't heard that, that's a good project to listen to.
So do you feel any type of like, I don't know, pressure or, I don't know, just the fact that this is the first project that he's working on since those Kanye albums? Is that
No, not in that regard. No, I feel pressure because I think about the kids that are looking at me,
mm-hmm.
that are going to use my story as inspiration for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about that. It's more about being consistent and sincere about that. Like where I'm from, where I'm going, the story I'm telling.
Mm-hmm.
Like my truth. That's more important. Like this is great. This just feels like a brotherhood. This just feels like family. I feel
Yeah.
like I've known Biggs forever because
Yeah.
I grew up on those principles.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Rockefeller from a distance.
Yeah.
So when I get on the inside, I'm like, oh wait, what happened? I'm like, that's not. I'm like, yeah.
But does he spill it? Does he tell you
I mean,
stories?
it's me. You gonna tell me what's up, right?
Biggs got stories for days.
Forever.
Because for many years, Biggs never spoke to anyone.
Forever.
So now that you could get him and he's friendly and he had this, you know what I mean? You could actually hear some amazing stories. I'm sure you have.
It's incredible too.
Well, I can't wait till our next interview.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I've
fun.
heard I'll hear all
You
the
gotta
new
come to a show.
music. I would love that.
That'd be interesting.
When is that?
The next one, New York, or even if it's not, you gotta come somewhere sexy where you could be highlighted,
Okay.
where it's honorable.
Yeah. Angie Martinez hosts the next Saint Jhn show at
Done.
the such and such.
I like
ballroom,
that.
Such and such, something.
Something
We're
like
putting
that.
that together right now.
Yeah.
All right, done.
Done. Y'all heard that,
Done.
right?
You locked it in?
20 million listeners.
We'll
Okay.
drive around. You'll play me some new music. We'll pull up to the event and I'll host
I
it.
like that.
Congrats
I
on
like
everything,
that.
And we're
baby.
Thank you
doing
so much.
3 film projects. So this is all on air, happening in real
Done.
time.
We've announced it now.
We've
Everybody
announced it.
It's
knows.
done.
3 film projects. We're going to drive around in the car and listen to your new music.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to host your show. And by
That's
next
it.
time, it's going to be another discussion.
Good.
Next level. Congrats on everything. And go
Thank you.
and watch OG on HBO.
Yes. Watch OG on HBO. Watch It's a Hard Truth, Ain't It? And listen to Saint John's Trap featuring Little Baby right now.
There it is. Power 5.1. Let's go.